I got to first ask if you are still confident that Wall Street is going to pick up the baton from the middle class, because recently the dip that we've seen in prices has a lot of people in sort of pop culture thinking that this could be the end for Bitcoin.
Yeah, so well, the dip that you're talking about is actually nothing new for Bitcoin. As far as percentage terms go, if we look at it historically, we've seen these type of pullbacks before. And definitely Wall Street is getting involved, and they're building the bridges as we speak. Whether they're going to go full-on bull, full-on bear, we don't know. But the important thing is that they're ready to take on and to inject new liquidity into this market, which at least should even things out and stabilize the price.
It does seem like they built a lot of those bridges and sort of opened the gates right as the price collapsed. So we were at, what, $17,000, $18,000, $19,000 in December. You got the CME, CBOE futures contract open. You got everybody start, Novogratz has his fund running. Goldman's talking about opening a trading desk. And all of a sudden we're down to 7,000. 6,000 and change. I mean, we're basically at the mining cost right now, aren't we?
Yeah. So they were trying very hard. Wall Street was trying very hard to catch that bull run, but it seems they did miss the party. November was a very interesting time. I mean, in Etoro we had a lot of customers coming in to get their account open, buy Bitcoin as soon as they could. And I imagine that the clients in the Wall Street banks also wanted to get in on that party. But as you said, the CBOE, CME came in late December, right at the peak.
Guy?
Matty, good morning. It's Guy in London. What will it take to convince central banks that Bitcoin has a future and should be part of the financial system? I'm looking at the Reserve Bank of Australia's Mr. Lowe this morning talking about Bitcoin being a terrible means of payments and a speculative mania. What will it take to convince those central bankers, do you think?
Pleasure to meet you, Guy. Well, Bitcoin is a global payment system which operates independently of the central banks. So it really relies on the power of the crowd and the power of its users.
But what about the issue with payment? I mean, it's not as easy to make a transaction in Bitcoin now as when I first started using it a few years back, and it was almost instantaneous and didn't cost anything. Right. Now, the cost of making any transaction is significantly higher than it was, and it takes forever to get it through the system.
Right. So in December and January, we saw a lot of demand and a lot of transactions happening because of the excitement in the price. And there was actually a clog in the network. So that type of dynamic did play out. So we saw higher transaction costs and all that. So since then, as the price has come down, the interest has come down as well a little bit. And at the moment, if you send a transaction in Bitcoin, it'll go right through with transaction costs comparable to what you were paying before. And the more liquidity we get into the market, the better that's going to be.